Hello, and welcome to your meditation practice as part of the Open Heart Project. My name is Susan Piver, and I'm very happy to give you meditation instruction. And today we're going to sit together for 10 minutes, and we're going to start right now. And I will give you the full instruction, so please don't worry if this is your very first time to meditate. You can sit on a cushion on the floor, and if you do, sit with your legs crossed loosely in front of you, which means one ankle in front of the other rather than on top of each other, which can hurt. But it's also 100% excellent to sit in a chair. And if you do, please sit with your feet flat on the floor. And as you get settled, I want to tell you just a little story, brief, I promise, about a way that we can meet the difficult / unwanted things that happen in our life and what meditation has to do with it all. But this is not a solution to making all pain go away or solving all your problems, so don't get too excited. But it is a slight sort of shift of heart that helps us regain a sense of sort of power and balance in situations that can leave you feeling powerless and unbalanced. So I'm talking about difficult things ranging from you miss the bus to, you get fired or you lose your job. And again, this isn't going to make all your problems go away. It's not going to make you feel happy particularly, but it is a gesture of strength. And enough about it, I'll tell you what it is. So this story is actually about someone that I met. Something happened to him. He was a Tibetan man, a translator who was traveling in the United States with a very renowned Lama, a really high and wonderful teacher. And this gentleman was serving as his translator. And he was coming from India. And when he got off the plane, he had a return ticket, he had a passport, and a little bit of money. And he somehow took public transportation to Port Authority in New York City. And when he got out of Port Authority, he realized he had been pickpocketed. And his wallet was gone, his money was gone, his passport was gone, his ticket home was gone. And this had happened to him the day before I met him, and he was telling the story because he was staying at a friend's house. And I was like, oh my God, here he is from another country with no identification and no money and so forth. I was like, he must have been angry or upset. And he said, and here's the moral of the story. He said, well, at first I was angry, but then I just offered it. And what he meant by offering, and this is a traditional way to seal Buddhist meditation practice, but you certainly don't have to be a Buddhist to do it. At the end of one's practice, it is customary to offer the benefit of your practice. Just let go of it. Don't try to hold on, like this is making me a better person, this is making me more patient, this is helping me with my health. Sure, all that's true. But at the same time, you don't have to hold on to it tightly. You don't have to grip it. And there's a sense at the end of practice of letting it go and offering it so that it can also be a benefit to all beings. So what he meant by I offered my wallet, which was sort of after the fact because, it was stolen, but instead of holding it as an act of thievery, he, after the fact, gave it away, which turns out to be much more beneficial for one's mental health, to instead of just being pissed off and so forth, which again he was at first, to just rearrange it in your mind. So instead of being something that someone took from you, it's actually something that you gave to someone. So he said, I offered it. And you can do the same thing with the problems that you encounter in your everyday life. Again, if things don't go well, from, it's raining when you wish it was sunny, to you're in love with someone who's not in love with you and it causes pain, you can somehow in your own heart offer your disappointment, offer your loneliness, offer your anger and your frustration and so forth, so that somehow, even though we ordinary human beings actually can't imagine how my crankiness or bitterness and so forth could benefit someone else, nonetheless I could offer it in case it could. Because you never know. You never know. And so if I'm going through something difficult, I offer that difficulty so that somehow, perhaps, someone else who's experiencing this difficulty could find relief. And it's a little turn of heart, like I say, but it's a gesture that changes something that can feel powerless to something that can feel powerful. So I hope this is useful. And without further ado, we're going to start our practice. So, are you ready? So begin your practice by relaxing. And you can relax your body by simply giving your weight to whatever it is that you're sitting on. Just be here. Sometimes I feel that I'm sort of hovering above the ground, the cushion, when I'm walking on the street, above the street, because I'm up here in my head and I'm thinking and so forth. This is a chance to just be here, sink into the spot that you're in, and that's relaxing. And you can relax your mind, this is guaranteed, by letting go of all expectation for your practice, or your life. The hands are palms down, just above the knee or at mid-thigh. And the hands and arms and shoulders are relaxed. So let them be a little heavy. The back is straight and strong, but also at ease, flexible, responsive, alive. Because you're alive. And you can feel your back body expand and contract with your inhale and your exhale. There's always little movements. And your front body is very soft, because it just is. So tune into the softness that is in your belly, that is in your heart, that is in your throat. And notice what it feels like to have this simultaneous strength of the back body and softness of the front body, inseparable, obviously. The chin is tucked a little bit so that it's level with the ground. And the mouth is closed. But the teeth and lips can be slightly parted because that seems to help the jaw to relax, and you don't have to say anything, so you can let your jaw relax. Breath comes in and out through the nose. And breath is natural, meaning there's no breathing technique. Just breathing. Simple. In our practice, the eyes remain open, and the gaze is cast down to a spot about 6 feet in front. And it doesn't matter what's in that spot, because you don't have to stare at it. It's just a resting point for your gaze. And often people wonder, why do I have to keep my eyes open? Well, I have a lot of reasons. I'll include a link in this newsletter to what those reasons are, but I won't go into them right now. The eyes are like half closed and very, very soft. Here you are in your world. There's no need to retreat from it by closing the eyes, but you sort of almost go out to it through the act of seeing. And the crown of the head reaches up a little bit. Place your attention on your breath as it comes in and out through the nose. So just notice your breathing. You are breathing. And you don't have to glue your attention to your breath, like grip it. It's just a simple act of noticing. Being with is even better than noticing. Just be with your breath as it comes in and dissolves out. There's a kind of gentleness to the whole thing. And let your mind be as it is. Of course, it's still producing thoughts, which is good. That's what it does. Our mind produces thought, among other things, and there's no need to try to turn that spigot off. It should be very frustrating. So just let your thoughts be as they are, while you retain primary attention on breath. And if you notice that you become absorbed in thought to the point where you have just completely forgotten about your breath, it's totally fine. All you have to do is just let go of that thought or those thoughts, no matter how heavy or important or silly or funny or vicious or beautiful they are, irrelevant. Just let go. And gently return your attention to your breath. And gently begin again. And if you notice there's a judgment, positive or negative, you could also call that thinking and let that go too, completely. And take a fresh start. Thank you so much for your practice. Oh, and P.S. I want to tell you about some other things that are going on with the Open Heart Project. If you're not interested in hearing, goodbye for now. Please just click off. But you may or may not know that the Open Heart Project has grown to quite an amazing community of nearly 10,000 practitioners all over the world who practice meditation together every day. I had no idea when I started doing this that it would grow to something of this size. And about a year ago, I started a second group within this group for people who want to learn a little bit more about things like making offerings or how meditation can help you with your everyday life, your love life, your creative life, your professional life, your family life. Meditation has, it's almost unfair to call it meditation because there's so many applications for this practice of mindfulness. It's almost more like a spiritual training. And in this other group, there are about 350 members now. We talk about these things at greater length. We have meditations together that are of varying lengths. It's not always 10 minutes. Every week I introduce a new theme for that week, something that we can contemplate together and discuss together. We have webinars, we have virtual retreats. There's an interview series where I interview amazing people like Seth Godin and Alex Gray, the painter, if you know him, about how spirituality plays a part in their life. And it's an incredibly wonderful community. Again, people all over the world, about 350 people. It costs $15 a month. And I really want to invite you to give it a try. If it doesn't work out, you spend 15 bucks. But if it does, it really provides, I'm not saying it's for everyone, but if you like it, it provides a real sense of spiritual community without dogma, without religion, without any of that BS. But just a place for people who are independent-minded and want to live their life by spiritual values, by which I mean kindness and mindfulness and individuality and generosity and meaning, as opposed to, the other values that we're told we should live by. It's a place for you to find some support for that kind of life and also some fun, because it's just fun. So again, I hope you give it a try. There's a link in here somewhere. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it in the newsletter yet, but it's in the newsletter. And you can also go to my site, susanpiver.com, to find out. Again, it's $15 a month. It's a membership in the Open Heart Project and a chance to take the next step in your spiritual practice. So I hope you give it a try.